was 6, my babysitter was murdered.
And they never caught him?
Justice was done.
Wanna play?
Okay, here we go. All right, it's You're
doing really good, Vince. Fantastic. Keep it up. You're almost there. You're almost at the end.
Wait a minute, there's 2 of them?
We are at the end. Don't screw it up now, Vince. We're at the end.
Gotta psych myself up here. Here we go. Here we go.
One more. You got one more in you, Vince. One more.
One more. Just one freaking more. Let's go.
And they call me sick?
It's horror month. It's 2017. We're the Box Office Maniacs, and we're back once more with the next segment, the next chapter, the next episode, the next part, the next continuation of the Chucky saga and our franchise review of the entire Chucky saga.
A true classic never goes out of style.
And this one just came out. It just was released at the beginning of October.
And I had this pre-ordered on DVD, actually, because I was going to buy it. Then I found out that it's on Netflix, so I canceled my pre-order and just watched it on Netflix. So, this is part, 7 now?
Yep, part 7.
Okay, and it's been about, 4 years since the last one, which I can't believe it's been that long. And it's like, why did they wait so long between sequels? 4 years is quite a long time to wait. But going into this, I literally had no idea what this was about. I didn't know who was in it. I didn't know if it was a sequel to the last one. I didn't know if they were remaking it again. I had no clue until we finally sat down and watched it.
And I pretty much, I kind of figured it was going to be a sequel to the last one. But as far as them making it, it was kind of weird because I heard that they were going to make another Chucky. They were kind of talking about it, that another Chucky was coming. But I figured they were still developing it. And then all of a sudden it was like a month later, oh, Cult of Chucky is coming out on video. So I was like, wow, they got done with that movie fast.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever bring out Chucky in the movie theaters again. I think it will, from this point, if they're going to make any more, will be direct to Netflix, direct to DVD. I don't think it's in the Child's Play cards in order to make another big budget theater release.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think maybe they did so well with Curse of Chucky, maybe they made enough with that and they said, well, heck, we don't need to bring it out in the theaters, we just put it on a video. And it's probably best.
I'm perfectly fine with it. I am absolutely 100% perfectly fine. If I can just walk into my living room, turn on Netflix, and watch a brand new Chucky, I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't mind them doing that either. And as a matter of fact, like I said, I think that's probably best. Because I mean, the Chucky franchise. I mean, to be very honest with you, Dave, I've never been too wild about it. Overall, I mean, it's not been one of my favorites. He's never been one of my favorite killers. I don't necessarily hate Chucky, but he's never been my favorite. He's never been Freddy Krueger for me, you know?
Well, no, but I still enjoyed all the films, just about. Well, most of them. And I've always liked Chucky. I have action figures of Chucky, just like I do Freddy and Jason and Michael. And you're talking about this. The one thing that they kind of really need to do now is look at what they're doing here with Chucky and maybe do it with other horror franchises. Why not bring Friday the 13th to Netflix? Or, I mean, obviously the next Halloween's coming out in the theaters, but why not bring, some of the big franchises to Netflix and release them directly on DVD as well.
Yeah, I think some of them could work that way, but then again, I don't know. I think they should do that if they bring out some piece of crap like they did with Nightmare on Elm Street.
So let's get into the Cult of Chucky. So, alright, this is a direct sequel to Curse of Chucky, and it has the same woman in it that was in Curse of Chucky, who was in the wheelchair, but now she's in a mental institution because obviously they think she's crazy because she's talking about a killer doll who killed her whole family, and they locked her up in a mental institution.
Yeah, this,
One more. Last one, Vince. Last one. Just remember that.
Yeah, I know it's the last one, Dave, but you know what?
You can do it, Vince. I believe in you.
Between reviewing these and editing everything, man, I'm about Chucky'd out.
So that's what Horror Month is. It's insane.
What I was about to say is the girl that's in this, Nika is the name of the character, is played by Fiona Dourif, who is the daughter of Brad Dourif, who plays Chucky, who does the voice of Chucky in every single Chucky film, and even this one. And yeah, it's a direct sequel to Curse of Chucky, and I have to say, I really wasn't knowing what was going to happen with this, especially with the way the Curse of Chucky ended. And because one of the big plot holes in Curse of Chucky was the very end of Curse of Chucky, where he goes and he meets with the little niece that you lose through about half the film. And he finally meets up with her, and you see him do his little voodoo chant, the Ode Dimbula on her, and you think, okay, well, he's entering her body. But that's not actually how the movie really ended up, because if you watch after the end of the credits of Curse of Chucky, there's a whole nother segment that I won't get into that goes into this one.
And what I found really interesting here is Andy's back. They brought Andy back for the sequel. And the same actor is actually playing Andy, and he's really good. I think he's a great actor. I don't know if he's been in anything else, but I thought he did a great job in this.
Oh yeah, he was fantastic.
Yeah, and I was shocked that they actually brought him back, and he has sort of a major role in this. He's pretty much throughout most of the movie. And try not to give out spoilers here, but but the stuff that he has, I loved it. I loved the effects on that. I thought it was so cool, and I thought that was amazing.
You're talking about the beginning of this film, right?
Exactly, but I'm trying not to give out spoilers.
I don't want to do that either, but I have to say the first 10 minutes of this film, I was thoroughly hooked. I was thoroughly amazed, and I was like, wow, I can't wait to see the rest of it. I hope it doesn't screw up after this, because this first 10 minutes or so was fantastic. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was super cool. So now we get into the mental institution, and the guy who's performing, the doctor there who's performing like the sit-down therapy, he of course brings out a Chucky doll, and it's like, oh hey, look, it's Chucky. And of course that's how he ends up in the mental institution. So now there's a woman there who is obviously crazy, that's why she's in there, who takes Chucky. So then all this stuff starts happening, and people are dying, and you're like, okay, well, how is that happening if Chucky really isn't there? I mean, and it was a pretty good mystery. I gotta tell you, I didn't really have any idea what was going on.
I was going to get to that, Dave, because I absolutely loved what they did with this. And the thing of it is, so far, and this is kind of why I'm not crazy about the Chucky series, is because, the very first one, of course, is the original. It's usually the best one. The second one was okay. The third one really... and then the fourth one was fantastic. And then the fifth one was a piece of crap. Then the sixth one was fantastic. And now we're here at the seventh one. So it kind of has this up and down pattern through Chucky, where things were really great and then they went really bad and then they went really great and really bad. So I was like, how is this going to end up? How is this going to go? Because this is the 7th one, and usually on this one, from the pattern, this one is going to be terrible. And it wasn't. I loved this entire film. I actually absolutely loved it. I think I liked it as much as the last one.
And you just posted Child's Play 3 on our channel here. And if you watch it, I actually predicted this movie, Vince, before I watched it. I said, wouldn't that be awesome if something like this actually happens in a Chucky movie? Here it is. Here's what happens.
Yeah, I know. I was sitting there putting the review together because I forgot we even talked about that. And I'm putting that review together and I'm going, holy crap, I just watched this.
Yeah, and it's cool. And again, we can't give away spoilers because it's part of the fun of the movie. But yeah, they did a really great, cool thing here. And, you know, I think a lot of purists, like if there are Chucky purists out there, I doubt if there are, but if there are Chucky purists out there, they'd be like, oh, that's not Child's Play. They never mentioned that before. How can they do this now? Because they're just making... It's like, who cares? It's still fun, and it's still inventive, and they're coming up with new ideas, and what they did in this film was so much fun.
And I really wish he would have done something like this years ago with Chucky. You know, I really wish he would have come up with these. I mean, obviously Don Mancini is coming up with some really cool ideas here now for Chucky, or maybe he's just found a groove. Who knows? But he's come up with some really good ideas with it, and I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than I did before.
Yeah, and it was so well filmed. That's the other thing I got to say. The kills in here were fun. They were inventive, and they're really amazing. It's so they're the one scene that I won't spoil, but has to do with somebody laying on a table, and just that whole shot of when they got killed. It's just beautiful to look at. It really is. It's just an amazing shot of that sequence, and he did such a great job filming this.
It kind of has a Stanley Kubrick kind of look to it.
Exactly, with the long hallways and everything sort of whitish, and I love the look of it. I really love the sterile, weird look, because, again, that's not been in any of the Child's Play movies.
Once again, it all takes place in pretty much one spot. You know, it doesn't really go anywhere. And Curse of Chucky was kind of the same way. They filmed it all in one house, which was what Child's Play was, the original Child's Play. They filmed it all in one spot.
I would have liked, what you're saying is, you know, if he had done this idea years ago while it was still in the theaters, I would have loved to seen a big budget version of this. I think it would have been even 10 times better, and they could have just gotten rid of Seed of Chucky and done this one instead or something. But I mean, what they did with this was good. And one thing I got to say about Seed of Chucky, Vince, is, again, this is kind of a spoiler, but not really if you've watched Curse of Chucky had Tiffany back in it again.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, how is she in this movie? Where is she coming from? But then my wife pointed it out, and I was like, oh, that's such a cool thing if that's what it's supposed to be, is at the end of Seed of Chucky, and trust me, I'm not spoiling anything because you don't want to see that movie anyway. I'm assuming that the doll went into Jennifer, what's her name?
Jennifer Tilly.
She went into Jennifer Tilly's body. So Jennifer Tilly is now Tiffany. And when she walks in there, the woman's like, oh, you look like Jennifer Tilly. And she's like, yeah, I get that a lot. Because she is Jennifer Tilly, but she's actually Tiffany inside of her.
Yeah, that's one thing I can say for this, too, is he's coming up with all these new ideas for this basically re-envisioned or reimagined version of the Child's Play franchise. And he's not discarding everything that's happened. You know, he's actually adding little bits and pieces of it here and there throughout these two films so far.
So once again, a great Chucky film, and if you have Netflix, watch it. And it's so good, actually, you could probably just go out and buy it, and you wouldn't be disappointed. So overall, I'm going to give Cult of Chucky a whopping 5 out of 5. Really good, just as good as Curse of Chucky, just as good as Part 3 and Part 1 and Bride of Chucky.
And I will give Cult of Chucky also a big 5 out of 5. Because I liked it every bit as much as Curse of Chucky, and I hope he keeps up the momentum. I hope it keeps going, and I can't wait to see. I'm actually looking forward to a Part 8, even though I'm really Chuckied out right now.
Well, you don't have to. It's okay because he won't release it for another 4 freaking years, Vince.
Yeah, I know. It'll probably be 5-6 years. I'll probably be dead. Star Wars will be over with by that time, I guess.
Yeah, Vince will be in a wheelchair with a bell going bing, bing, and you're like, oh, you want to see Chucky? You're like, bing, 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 bing.
Time to pull the fucking plug.
I'll be in a wheelchair going, all right, hit the subscribe button and hit the horror bell up there, and if you like us, go ahead and like us, and if you want to comment,
And I'll be like, huh? What were you saying there, Vince? You gotta repeat yourself. Is this Chucky 9 or 10?
I'll be like that old guy in Creepshow 3 sitting there going, ah!
I'm already like that old guy.
I've been like that all month.
Oh, man. So, hit the subscribe button. We've said that 700,000 times. I'm tired of saying it. So I'm not even going to say it anymore, but hit the subscribe button. Wait a minute. I just said it again.
Well, you got to say it. You got to remind them because they need to come back and watch us even when we're old.